DC Weather Lab. Here's Eric's forecast.
We're ending out the work week the same way we started, with another day of dreary, rainy weather throughout much of the day that began early this morning and continued now as we push into the evening. Good news is it should clear out by about midnight, and so we are looking at drier conditions for the weekend, although clouds and cooler weather will stick around for Saturday before finally clearing up by Sunday. But let's take a look outside. Definitely needed all their rain gear with the rain boots, the jacket, and the umbrella as those steady showers continue to hammer a good portion of Acadiana, dropping down and making some decent puddles across portions of Acadiana. But the good news was the rain was relatively light throughout much of the day, and we even had some breaks in between, so flooding really wasn't too big of an issue today. Most areas getting about 1 to 2 inches of rain, but again, it fell over several hours, so that was the good news. Here's the big picture look at what's going on. It started with some moisture again in the Gulf of Mexico that became Tropical Depression 17 and then eventually Tropical Storm Olga this afternoon. You can see that's the bright purple shades where the very big convection thunderstorms were. Now it's just a small pocket, but that's getting caught up with a cold front that extends from just about the Arkansas-Louisiana line out into the Gulf of Mexico. So if those two things coming together, I think the worst of the weather stays just to the east of us from New Orleans over in the Mississippi and Alabama. We're just continuing to see some light showers, and then that rain will continue to stretch up into the Tennessee Valley and the Midwest later on this weekend, bringing them some much needed rain. But we'll take a closer look. You can see we didn't have those intense storms today, so relatively light activity through a good portion. Now we're starting to see some of that with Tropical Storm Olga getting closer, but again, I think most of it stays to the east. Maybe get St. Mary Parish later on tonight. That could see the worst of this, but again, I think it's more Houma over towards New Orleans that'll see the worst of the storms and potentially even the winds as that system does move onshore. Here's a look at the actual satellite and radar picture, and you can see mainly just looking at greens. We did have some yellow, so that was that light, the steady rain, but the stronger storms were over here to Mississippi and Alabama where they had a little bit more energy. We got some tornadoes ongoing, and you can see those tornado warnings still just to the north of Mobile. We've had a couple of them actually reported doing some damage over in those areas, so not good news for them. But for us, it's just been those light showers, and you can see even now beginning to really letting up across a good portion of Acadiana. So we're just looking at some light showers, but the best that we have ongoing from Arnoldville up into Port Barry and then continuing through St. Landry Parish. That's where we're seeing maybe some moderate showers, and we're getting a little bit of a break here in Lafayette, and then down to the south, as mentioned, we're starting to see a little bit more of that activity move onshore again back through Vermilion Parish. So Abbeville, the Delcombe, you'll see rains pick up, have some rains moving into Youngsville and also New Iberia. You'll see the rain start to pick up a little bit. I think rains continue with us, as mentioned, through at least 10 p.m. this evening, and so with that additional rainfall falling, we'll have the chance for a flash flood watch through tomorrow afternoon. But I think the flash flood watch threat is going down substantially, at least for Acadiana. Mainly New Orleans could still see some of that. So the predictive shows the rain's moving off to the east, but again, steady rains could continue into Morgan City through about 1 o'clock with some heavier showers as the storm moves closer to us. But again, I think it's more towards New Orleans that they get the heavier rains and then clearing out as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So we got that storm, 40-mile-an-hour winds moving to the north-northeast at 18. Expected to move onshore near St. Mary Parish, but again, worst of the weather stays to the east and then quickly races up towards the Great Lakes by about tomorrow evening. So this will be a fast-moving system over the next 24 hours. As mentioned, though, we will see winds increase behind this, especially through the overnight hours, anywhere from 15 to 20, dropping down to 10 to 15 throughout much of the day out of the west-northwest. That will begin to pile up the waters a little bit, especially as it moves onshore. So a coastal flood advisory from Vermilion Parish all the way down to New Orleans, as tides could be about 1 to 2 feet above normal, but not looking to be anything of substantial. So there's Olga moving on, bringing with it the rains out of here. So breezy and cloudy conditions and somewhat cooler with temperatures in the 60s for our Saturday, clearing out and turning nice as we head into Sunday with temperatures getting into the 70s for highs. So showers out there through about midnight to be on the safe side, but I think they should end within the next couple hours. 57 with winds picking up later on tonight. Cloudy and cool tomorrow, maybe some dull sunshine late in the day. 67 for that afternoon high. We look good into the first half of next week with the chance of showers returning as we push into the middle part. Could interrupt Halloween plans, but right now the models are still all over the place, but it does look like it might be on the cool side. So as you mentioned, you might need to throw the jacket underneath the costume.
Plan those costumes accordingly, I guess. Thanks, Eric.